Thank you to the staff of this committee and really to all of my colleagues. Showing the importance of this meeting is that so many important leaders from our caucus are here. Not only Elijah, who's ranking on a committee, but also Louise Slaughter, who's ranking on rules, and Congressman Conyers, ranking on the judiciary, Jackie Spear, who's been leading all these special orders every night, and new Representative Esty, who represents the area where the 20 innocent young children were murdered. So we thank her for her leadership here and in our community. And Mike Thompson has been holding meetings every day, every hour. But particularly, I want to thank my good friend and colleague, Scott Ridgel, for coming and joining with us and explaining that you can be a member of the NRA and support sensible and important anti-gun violence. And I would really like to invite him to join me and others going to meet with the NRA. This should be a bill that they should support because it in no way infringes on the rights of people to own guns, our Second Amendment rights. We are not going after hunters or someone who wants to defend themselves. We are going after people who are illegally participating in selling or buying illegal guns, in many cases for the sole purpose of giving it to a felon or to a drug cartel or violence on the border. This literally grew out of a hearing that we had in government reform and oversight on the violence on the border. And one of law enforcement's representatives, Peter Pacelli, who is a supervisory special agent of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, he was at our hearing in 2011 and basically pled with us to give law enforcement the tools to do their job. When I tell many of my colleagues about this bill, they cannot believe that it's not even a felony to traffic in illegal guns in the United States of America. This is so common sense, it's like having a glass of water in the morning. And Pacelli testified that if you want to go after violence on the border, make it illegal for these straw purchasers to purchase guns and give them to, or sell them to foreign countries or to drug cartels or gangs or whomever. And he said that they do not even bother to prosecute straw purchasers, even when they have all the goods on, because in his words, all you get is a paper violation. You don't go to jail. You don't have this type of problem. So what is unusual about this bill is that the men and women who protect us every day in the police department and all the armed services are supporting the bill. They're pleading with us to pass this bill. And my colleague mentioned the terrible tragedy that happened in my great state of New York up there in West Webster. And this happened just 10 days after Sandy Hook. And I venture to say that his neighbor who bought him the illegal guns, the guy in a shotgun and a Bushmaster rifle, and he then did a terrible thing, set his house on fire, and when men came to protect him, the firefighters risked their lives to protect him, he then turned his gun and shot two of them in cold murder, and we will be hearing from one of them today. Such an outrageous abuse of having a gun. If we can't stop this, if we can't agree on this, and I'm sure we will agree on it, because we need to agree on it, because it's so, so important. We are going to hear from so many outstanding leaders in the police department that protect us every day. I always call the true twin towers of New York, the police department and the fire department, who were there on that day and are there every day to protect us, as all of you are. And I just will be pleading with my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to support and give law enforcement the tools they need to protect us. Let's make trafficking in illegal guns and selling those guns a felony. And let's put 20 years behind it. The woman who gave those guns in upstate New York, I doubt she would have bought those guns if she knew she was facing 20 years. She wouldn't have. And those two heroic firefighters would be alive today. So I look forward to your testimony, and I look forward to working with my colleagues on both sides of the aisle, and I am hopeful that this common sense bill that law enforcement is pleading with us to pass will pass. Elijah and I produced it in the last Congress, but really the circumstances, the really tragic deaths have renewed our passion to pass this. And can we expect anything to be any differently if we just continue doing the same thing? If we continue to let people buy illegal guns, traffic in illegal guns, be straw purchasers for criminals, can we expect that we'll have a different outcome? So this is a common sense step forward. I wholeheartedly endorse it, and I thank all of my colleagues. I want to particularly mention the support that we got from Congressman Meehan from Pennsylvania. He was an original co-sponsor, but he was also a former U.S. attorney, so he understands this issue very well and could speak from first-hand experience of not being able to get convictions because these laws were not on the books. So I just want to mention that he is detained, otherwise he would be with us. I'm thrilled to be here with so many outstanding leaders on both sides of the aisle and so many ranking members that are here. It shows the importance and, of course, the chair of our important task force. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you very much.